What's on, minifans? Continuing my Zone Mortalis project, this time I'm making some ductways. It's a pretty quick project, but I think these look pretty cool and quite easy to cast as well. Anyway, if you like anything in the video, feel free to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with my content. I have some Amazon affiliate links down in the description box for my most used items, and any templates ever used in my projects are linked down below, and it's linked to my Patreon, but they're free of charge. Anyway, enough of this, let's get on to crafting. Okie dokie. So I'm using 2mm chipboard, and I've done all the cutting off camera because you don't need to see me cutting over and over and over. So what we've got is two 3x3cm squares, then another two 3x3cm, but then I've lopped the corners off of these two. So I've measured in 3mm from the corner and then just lopped it off. And then I've also cut out a rectangle on one side, and it's about 3mm by 5mm. And then I've got two smaller squares which are 2.5cm, and again I've lopped the corners off. And then what I do is Mod Podge everything. I figure I can just seal everything and glue it together now. So I seal it all and glue the two 3cm pieces together. So there's two sets because I'm doing two ductways. Then what I'm doing, I've got some of those hair curler things, and I cut off like the thickest edge. It's the bottom and the top of it. So I'm using two of these as like the kind of outline to the entrance. And then I sand all that down, get it all nice and smooth, and also buff the edge because it's quite shiny plastic, so I don't think paint will stick that well. And then I get the center of the 2.5cm squares and then draw a circle using a compass, you know, the same size as these hair curler things. For one of the ductways, I'm going to use that mesh. It's it's to go in a flower pot, but I want to get it a perfect circle. So what I do is draw a circle, you know, same diameter, on some cardstock, and then masking tape the mesh down on top, and then, you know, follow the outline. And I just trim it with a craft knife. Then for the other one, I'm just using cocktail stick, and I'm making kind of bars as, you know, some kind of grate. Now I only actually do 3 on camera, and it's the same principle. I draw a circle on cardstock, masking tape them down, mark them, and then just cut them with clippers. But I actually do a few more off camera and glue those in later. You don't see me doing that, but you'll see when I'm painting it. There are magically more of them. Then I go ahead and just start gluing stuff down. So I start off with the mesh, and I glue this in place just with super glue, cocktail sticks, and then those hair curler pieces afterwards. The idea of these is you can stick them into place on some of the walls and columns that I've made before, you know, because they're covered with that magnetic sheet. So I need to magnetize these. So that bottom piece, the 3 by 3 centimeter square, I now use my pin vise and drill 3 holes in like a triangle and then glue in little magnets. Now I assemble, so I just glue the 2.5 centimeter bit to the 3 centimeter bit, and I just line it up by eye, trying to get it all as even as possible, and then just super glue around the edge. Let's whack on some details. So again, I'm using cable tie. It's about 3 mil, I think. And this just gets super glued on like the cut-off corner of the 2.5 centimeter where it sits on top of the 3 centimeter piece. And then I just snip the excess off with clippers. Now where that gap is that I cut into the 3 centimeter cut cornered square, what I do here is some thicker cable tie, about 5 mils wide. This I bend, I bend it with some pliers initially, and then just super glue this so it kind of slopes around the edge. You can see what I do here, and then this super glued on. Where would I be without my rivets? Yep, it's that time. Riveting time. So again, blue tack on a cocktail stick. Get your rivets in place. Bit of super glue on something it's not going to soak into. Pick up rivet with the cocktail stick into the super glue into place. So I do 8 rivets on each one, so just in the corners. That's the build complete. As I said, it's a small project. Anyway, we've primed and then base coated burnt umber. I start off with a dry brush of dark silver and then follow up with a light dry brush of light silver. Couldn't really use sponges on this one. So I'm just going in with a paintbrush and I do just kind of a scratchy paint scheme. So I do one green and the other one red. And then I use quite a dark green, dark red. And then do some kind of scratchy edge highlights and a bit of a sort of scratchy center highlight with a lighter color of each one. Then once all that's dry, I give them a once over with my homemade black wash and just dab a little bit off the coloured sections. Onto rust. So I sponge on burnt umber and then after that's dried, sponge on some orange over the top. Then as a final stage, I do a bit of staining with brown and black inks. And that's the project complete. Here's some photos of the finished pieces in use as well. Quick project, but I think these turned out really well. And very, very easy to mold and cast. I can see these being used in a lot of other projects. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now.